Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and thanks for signing in again. Today we've got a great new guest who I've just started chatting to. He is out of Serbia. His name is Petar, and I'll send you his channel in the description below. But Petar, thanks very much for signing in, man. I'm really excited to have this chat with you.
Thank you very much, man. Glad to be here.
Yeah, very cool. So listen, I got a few things that I want to ask you, and if you want to bomb anything back away
Yeah.
or find out from my experiences, let's do it. But I mean, most of all, I completely love where you're able to go. You've got a lot of really amazing mountains, water area, cold in winter. I'm pretty sure you guys. Do you have a heating system in winter for your camping?
Yes, because it can go -20 sometimes. Yeah.
I'm laughing because there's no ways we can experience that in Africa. So I wouldn't even know how to cope.
Listen, 2 years ago, New Year's Eve -25, but that was only one night. But in every year that comes, we get a little bit warmer. Right now we had a little bit of snow this on this winter. That is very sad for us, of course. But you
Yes.
-15, -10, yeah, all the time.
And how do you keep warm? Do you have a system in your vehicle that allows you to use a battery, for example, a deep cycle battery that gives you the option to put a heater to run heater or something like that in your camping site?
Actually, no, but we use something like it's stripped from an how do you say it? And sorry about my English, I don't use it very often
Don't worry
these
about it.
days. These days,
No, it's fine. Like a electric blanket or like a heater fan
like a
type thing.
heater fan that runs on not on gas, on oil, on.
Oh, okay. I know what you mean. Yeah. Okay, so you use the LP gas, for
Yeah,
example.
something,
That
yeah,
okay.
something like that. But it varies, because if it's not very cold, good sleeping bag. Because I do a little bit of mountaineering and mountain climbing and those sorts of things, and because of that, we 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 always go prepared with good.
No, I completely get that. I mean, I've considered buying one or two of them. I know the ones you're talking about. You screw them in and you light them, and it's got
Yeah,
it heats up red. It isn't really a fan. It just gives like a dry
yeah,
heat
yeah,
within the tent, for
yeah, yeah,
example.
yeah. It's very good. It's very good. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, we have them here. We have them here. I would never understand, trying to sleep in -25 degree. It's just something that's never
No, it's very
experienced in
nice.
my life. So,
It's very nice.
so that
Yeah, yeah.
that that begs me to ask a question. I mean, are you a big fan of ground tents or rooftop tents? I mean, what's your favorite go-to?
Well, listen, here we don't have a need for a rooftop tent. Actually, they're very, of course, expensive, and we do stuff. Actually, I do stuff on a budget because I learned from my experience of traveling with before the overlanding with a rig like this by motorcycle for I don't know how many years. I started with it at 15, and then when I got my license, then I started and never stopped, maybe a few years ago. And through this experience of traveling by a motorcycle, you learn to not carry a many big amount of stuff, gear also,
Yes,
yeah. And of course you need a solid machine or bike, car, whatever, and a few basic items, like where to sleep and etc. But
yes.
on a smaller scale.
On, on a smaller
Yeah,
scale. Yeah.
less
Sure,
less
sure.
my opinion is less is better, because you can breathe. If you have millions of things that are falling out of your vehicle, that's a problem. Do you need?
I completely agree with you. I'm a big fan of
Yeah,
minimalistic,
yeah, okay.
meaning that like if I have something in my vehicle that I have not used in 6 months,
Yeah,
it's out. Unless it's necessary, like a recovery
yeah,
gear or
yeah,
snatching gear, that type of thing. Other than that, I'm not interested. It's just it's clutter, as you say. It's just clutter, and you're carrying so much extra
Yeah.
stuff. It's weight, it's
Yeah,
space.
it's
It's just
gas,
not.
it's money, it's I'm extremely trying to be, because I go in the mountains a lot by foot, and everything you need you carry on
Yes,
your back. And in every time that I go, I evolve in getting a sense of what I need, And when for example, last I think 2 years ago, we went in Greece, and it's a very special place, Mountain Athos. It's a monk island that is of prohibited for women, and there are monasteries everywhere. It's very like movie like place, unreal,
yes.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, yeah. It's very special. It's very old place in sense of they live like there for, I don't know, maybe more than 1,000 years, like this, without women. And
Wow.
yes, it's a country in a country. You need to have visa, permissions from a monastery. It's a very special place. Yeah, and I go there every year with two of my
Yeah.
friends, and and we visit some monasteries, some friends there, and then we climb the top that is 2,000 and I think 100 meters, and that was in September. So it's Greece, it's hot, it's nice weather, and you don't see a lot of
Yeah.
stuff. But 2,000 meters is already some height. It's not very very big, but it's some height.
Yes.
Yeah, and I was carrying maybe about 15 kilograms in my rucksack, you know, from the sea level 0 to
Yes.
2,100 feet, and that
Wow.
was very very hard. I train, I run, I do bicycle, I ride bicycle, everything. And then when I got back home, and I took out the stuff that I was carrying, and I saw how little things did I actually use. Yeah,
Really, eh?
and it was scary, Then
I would have left it at the top if you ask me. I would have just said, "Listen, you can keep it. I'm
man,
done."
man, they said there's a freshwater well, and on the 2,000 meters, and you have 200 more to climb. And they said that some rat or something fell in, and it's bad for drinking. So we had, on top of food and gear and food and everything, to carry extra water for those, I don't know how, 5 days we were on the top of mountain. So
Wow.
yeah, so because of that, there were some 15, some monks, if you believe me, some monks there were,
Yes.
which are living there. The one looked at me and said, "This is your bag?" I said, "Yes." He took it. "You are crazy. No one ever has climbed through this path with this size, this big rucksacks and so heavy." He said to me, because I never said, "You're crazy people. Why are you carrying all of this?" But we had to,
Dude,
yeah,
it sounds pretty epic. I mean, that's it sounds like quite an not only a achievement,
yeah,
but a big achievement in the sense that you actually
yeah,
realize exactly like you said, less is
yeah.
more, and you're not carrying junk. You're not carrying
And
clutter, and in what I find a lot is that people carry. I mean, I've seen people carry two different types of kettles in their vehicle.
ridiculous, ridiculous.
Um, it is, and that's a basic thing. I mean, if you're going to carry something extra, make sure that it's got to do with clothing
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
or something. In fact, even clothing. I mean, Peter, I was chatting to a lady once, and she said to me, "Can I help her?" And I said, "Yeah, sure." She said she's over her luggage. I said, "Well, where are you going?" She said, "No, I'm going to Madagascar." So I said, "Okay, well, what's the weather at the moment?" Now I knew what I know all the answers, but I'm checking if she knows. And I said to her, I said, "What's the weather?" And she goes, "Oh, well, the weather is going to do this and it's going to do that." I said, "Okay, well, what are you taking besides your personal stuff? Obviously, panties and bras and all
Yeah,
that
yeah.
type of thing." And she said, "Okay, I've got this. I'm going for 10 days, and I'm carrying this, and I'm carrying that." She was taking 7 pairs of jeans for 10 days, and 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 I said to her, I said, "Okay," and I'm trying not to laugh, obviously. So I said, "Okay, so 7 pairs of jeans for 10 days." I said, "How many times do you wash your jeans when you're home?" oh no, I wash my jeans maybe once every 2 weeks. I said, okay, well then why are you taking 7 pairs of jeans for 10 days? And there was complete silence. And she burst out laughing. She goes, I actually don't know. And she goes, okay, I see what you're saying. Thanks very much. And you know, she put the phone down,
Yeah,
and I never heard from her
yeah, of
again.
course.
But I think, you know, I think the point was taken, you know.
You know,
And
I have,
it's
yeah, I
amazing.
have a theory about that, because in our part of the world, because we're actually used to living poor, you know, and
Yes,
that is a maybe overstatement, but let's say it like this. And then we have a fear of gathering stuff, you know. I feel it like that. And when you come in someone's home, you see the you know, it's filled. It want to burst, you know. It wants to burst.
yeah,
So
yeah,
that is something that bothers me. And then when I can, because I have a wife and a kids, it's impossible to live minimalistic, of course.
yes, I know
Yeah,
this.
yeah.
Yes,
But nevertheless, you know, where I can, like in my, you know, climbing gear, mountaineering gear, or maybe of course, overlanding gear, motorcycle gear also, you know, the quality is the main thing for me, you know. Doesn't matter the price, doesn't matter. It can be very cheap, you know. But if it's work, if it's efficient, and so, you know, I
yes,
have a boil. How you say it? The thing, the gas stove. Cost
yes,
five
yes,
5 euros. 5 euros. It costs, but it's 24 grams, you know, and it works.
yes. It's nothing.
Yeah, and I carry it with me everywhere. And I have the old one, Primus old one, the expensive one that I think it was 50 euros, and
Yes,
it weighs maybe 300 grams, you know. And that's the whole point.
yeah,
You know, it doesn't matter the price. It matters of course the quality, and the you know, the that you it's real, it's reliable. You know, is this in
correct.
this circumstances what we are, you know, experiencing and traveling and everything.
Totally agree. I mean, so I think you know, I have a big saying that it's functionality over fashion.
Yeah,
You know, I don't care how it
of
looks,
course.
but if it works
Yeah, yeah,
properly,
yeah,
I'll take
yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah,
You know, that to me is exactly how it is. And I mean, I don't know if I can really understand as a South African what you guys have been through as a country. I think we all hear the news
yeah,
and read stuff, but I wouldn't know anyway what it's like to have been through some of the experiences that your country has. And you know, I think safety is a big deal.
yeah,
And I want to ask you two quick
yeah.
questions. Is this overlanding tours and guiding and things like that? Is that your actual job? Is that something that you do as a paid profession?
Well, yes. At the moment, yes. Actually, I'm trying to be my only and one job. I'm trying to do what I like to do. You know, I like traveling. I like helping people go into the nature, especially like my country, because and beautiful nature that it has. You know, and
Yes,
we
yes,
as I don't know how people see us, but it's people, you know. I have a friend. I'm sorry, I'm gonna go a little bit from the subject. It's on the subject, but I have a friend that I met. He's from England, the south part of England. When I was driving motorcycle, I met him in Serbia
okay,
actually. He has Ian Coates, his name, and he at the moment was 76 years old. He drove old Africa Twin 750. Uh,
okay.
yeah, and he went everywhere on his bike for last at that time 11 years. He was traveling everywhere. He
Wow.
hasn't been only in I think it was China
Yeah.
and all of Africa and Europe, of course, South America, West, everywhere. I think only China and maybe some place. I can't remember. And when I asked,
Okay.
what can what can you speak with this? You know, what can I ask? I'm sitting with him, and he's like wearing Crocs and like shorts and like some,
Crocs.
yeah, man, and some shirt, torn up white shirt that wasn't been, you know, washed for a month, and in front of his tent, you know, it says something like an paint, commercial, some like painting houses stuff on a shirt. Something.
Yes.
It's a very modest guy, and I'm just,
Yeah.
well, how is it? Can you tell me? I don't want to what to ask you. How is it to travel the world? It's a stupid question, but how are the people? Do they make you maybe problems? And I don't know. How is it? She said he looks at me and says, it's very good. There everywhere are good people, but you don't need to go to big cities.
Yes.
Everything
Yes.
bad from every country has already gone in a city. Just go
Yes.
around the cities, go in the countryside, and you will be okay. They will feed you, they will help you, they will weld the stuff that is broken off your bike. That they do everything. But so that
It's a true story.
yeah,
It's a true
yeah,
story.
yeah,
That's interesting. I mean, obviously South Africa has had its time and troubles and
yeah,
things like that, and we've had a bunch of different wars, from the Boer War, which is the Farmers' War, and with the British originally, and when we're being colonized,
yeah,
and all sorts of drama. But back then there was no social media and footage.
yeah,
Whereas now it kind of, things are still recent, and I say recent, I mean,
yeah,
obviously it's a bunch of
yeah,
years.
yeah,
A lot's happened. But I want to applaud you for taking the time and the effort in a country where I don't think that there is a lot of social media related to outdoors or overlanding in a country that is incredibly beautiful. You've got
yeah.
mountain ranges, big grass areas, you've got rivers and lakes. That it's landlocked. It's incredible.
Incredible, yeah.
I don't understand if there's not enough people doing it. Where do you think the problem is?
I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say to you, because the if you look the size of a country, and
Yes,
how the nature, how it varies. I said to you earlier when we were speaking, even we have a small that we even have a small desert, and for you it's
that's
nothing,
right.
but it's incredible how, I don't know how, what happened. So, but yeah, the very I don't know, the wars, of course, had made damage to all of us, but at the end, the people are, I don't know, it's very hard. At the same time, are living the high life, of course, in the cities like Belgrade, that is the main city of Serbia, of course, and the
Yes,
few other bigger cities. They're not so big, but and you see all sorts of cars and bikes, the SUVs, everything, luxury cars, everything. You have everything, like you see, drunk people on the streets at night.
sure,
Everything,
sure.
like everywhere. It's a big city, like a big city.
It,
But at the same time, you have a very, very big amount of, I don't want to say poor people, but that's right. That is the correct word, because in our country you don't have a middle. You have only the minimal pay wage, and the very, very big one. And because of that, I think
yes,
the and the interests of young people are very, very strangely, turned to something like hanging around with drinking coffee and beers and stuff, and
yes,
going out and in clubs on the Saturdays and Fridays, or rather than go hiking or fishing, biking, whatever, and that is very, very sad. And of course, unfortunately, the country does not support the outdoor activities at all. And if can you imagine the place? I cannot. You have to see those places. The
yeah,
passing through the most beautiful part. It's in Bosnia and Herzegovina, that was the Yugoslavia before the war.
yes, yes.
Yeah, and it is a region called Sutjeska. It's only living rainforest in the Balkans.
Okay,
Yeah. So there you have 100 meters waterfalls. you have untouched virgin forests, you have glacier lakes that are on the actually you I was we were last year we were camping on a glacier lake on that mountain that has the virgin forest and everything with our rigs, with our jeep, with our yeah,
Yeah,
and
on the
yeah,
lake.
or you can come with with your SUV on a lake and put a tent and sleep on a lake. Can you imagine that? So it's
That's pretty epic.
and,
It's,
and you know what is interesting? There is no sign on a road, the main road that goes through those mountains. You have a road that leads, it's not like a highway, but it's a smaller, but it's a important
yes,
road. You don't have the sign. Okay, you on the left, you take left. You have you have only you have like a nature park or something like that. So it's really
yes,
very
yes.
strange. I don't understand why they don't use it. You can make some really good money out of it.
It makes sense. It sounds like you have another job for you, man. I mean, if you can get the parks and recreation guys
Yeah,
to wake up
yeah,
and give you an opportunity to it's crazy. I completely get you. I think that's something that we don't see here. I mean, obviously in Africa, everything it's well organized. The
yeah.
tourism industry is really big. I was telling someone yesterday or the other day that in Namibia alone, we have 3,200 4x4 rental vehicles alone.
Incredible,
That's just Namibia.
incredible.
It's it's massive industry there, and obviously because of the virus, that's completely been just between
Yeah,
Malawi, Zimbabwe, Botswana, Mozambique, Lesotho, Swaziland, South Africa. Well, Lesotho, Swaziland are very, very small. Mozambique's not very common unless South Africans go there. But you got Tanzania, huge, Kenya, huge, Rwanda, Uganda. These are really big overlanding countries. West Africa is more for like the Europeans go there,
mm,
and the most of the North Americans go to West Africa, and it's amazing. I mean, but again, it's entirely opposite to the type of overlanding culture that you guys can have.
yeah,
And it sounds like you have your head screwed on right. I mean, if you can get those teenagers to divert their short-term money from drinking and one night
yeah,
parties
yeah, yeah,
to going out and having something to remember by,
yeah,
that's exactly the route that you want to go. It's going to take a lot of energy, unfortunately.
yeah. But I think I try to fight a good fight, and you said something very serious right now, because you have kids, I have kids. The people who have kids,
Yeah.
they understand the responsibility of have to raise a kid from from a baby to a grown person, and what I try is to uh, give my kids that one daughter is 2.5 years old, and the other is about a year right now, other daughter. So with an older one, I already started going with biking with her, hiking, of course, and then like short trips with my SUV, with my Jeep.
Yes.
We see Jeep, but it's not a Jeep. It's so why? Because I think it's very very important from young days for people to for kids to embrace this culture, of buying, searching, researching for equipment, for like the right boots, the right like walking stick, the rucksack, like in our world, the exact the winch that you need. Do you need a snorkel?
Sure.
It's a whole world within a world. So and it's overwhelming if you are serious about it. It's overwhelming. It doesn't have to be a lot of money, but and nevertheless it's very very it takes you to it takes you and it holds you if you so if if we succeed to properly show other people, young people especially, how very, very good is overlanding and traveling like
Yeah.
this. It will be very, very, very nice, you know.
I completely agree with you, and I just wish that you keep fighting the fight. So I want to ask you another
Hmm.
question. So you obviously go through a bunch of different terrain, like you've said. You have a
Yeah.
desert, you've got lakes in the winter, you got greenery and mud in the summer and spring and stuff like that. What tires are you running on your vehicle at the moment?
Right now, there are Kumho Road Venture mud terrains. So
So you're running mud terrains. I've never heard of those,
yeah,
unfortunately. I'm not so sure where they are. They a Japanese brand or a Chinese brand? I'm
Japanese
not so sure.
Japanese brand. Yeah, they do like a racing all sorts of racing tires, Kumho. And you know, I had them already. I bought them and they were. I sold my other vehicle and I got this one, this Toyota, and
Yeah.
right now I put them on. They're skinnies, so they're two. Let me check. 235, 85, 16.
Okay.
Yeah, so 230.
They're pretty close
Yeah,
to what I'm wearing at the moment on my
yeah.
vehicle.
What are you wearing?
I've got two four
Uh-huh.
fives,
Yeah,
75s, 16s. I've got Cooper
yeah,
ST Maxes. I've got the all terrain
yeah,
tires.
yeah.
I'm a big fan of Cooper. I did a vlog on them, and technically, compared to a lot of other brands, they're amazing. In fact, they're the only tire that's been. Have you heard of the Baja race?
Yeah, yeah, of course.
So it's the only tire that's been taken off the shelf and put on a vehicle for the Baja race.
Yeah,
All the other tires have been manufactured just for races, and this is the only one this tire is amazing. I mean, I love it, and it lasts a long time. It's really good. They have a mud terrain as well as an all terrain.
yeah,
So I love these tires. I mean, I'm a big fan of them, but I'm I love to hear what others are wearing and using, and if yours work for your terrain, that's exactly what you need. You would have done your research. You're a methodical guy, so I think you're doing the right thing. Yeah,
yeah,
I'm running two 4.5s. I did have two 3.5s, and
yeah.
I never had a problem with two 3.5s at all. So I think if you're similar to that and it's working for you, just obviously stick with what works for you.
Yeah, it's good. It's a great tire. You know, they're a little bit small. Tighter and this look smaller on a vehicle. But when you deflate them, you get a great, long grip on those
Correct.
technical parts. So they're working very, very nicely. And already, I think I'm 50% already used, and I'm on 30 Ks already. So that's nice. You know.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Okay, so I have another question for you. So obviously, in the country that you are, you don't have a lot of outdoor equipment and stuff and things like that. So or
No, you don't.
market, I should say. Where do you do your research, or do you build your own things for your vehicle, or where do you get any of your equipment that you need that you want for your vehicle?
So yeah, so there are some, like there are some places that you can buy everything. Like uh, actually, I think it was in this year that you can buy that I saw that you can buy a first rooftop tent. You know, before that,
Oh wow,
yeah, before that we are looking. But Europe it's right here, so it's very close. Everything is close. So Italy. Uh, Austria, Germany. It's 500, about 1,000 Ks from here. So you can go and you can Poland also. Actually, it's interesting in Poland. We have a good market for all kinds of and used parts and of course new parts and accessories and stuff. They're making also have great like making little factories, little small factories that make,
yes.
like front bumpers, rear bumpers, like, roof racks and all of that. But I have a really good friend from Bulgaria. We used to travel on a motorcycles together in Russia, in Ukraine, and all over the Europe, and of course in our part of the Bulgaria, Serbia, Bosnia, and all around. And
Yes.
actually he has an like an 4x4 SUV service. He's a mechanic, and
Yes.
Overlander also. He drives an 110 like you. I hope you can you will meet him one day, and you have something to chat about. What did when you bought your first Landy? What it broke first?
You know, it's a long story, but funny enough, for the record and for my international listeners, there's always been a big laugh and discussion around broken
Yeah,
and leaking Land Rovers.
yeah,
And I have a Puma 110. It's a 2010
yeah,
model. It was the engine, funny enough, Petar, from Ford. It was the Ford 2.4
yeah. I
motor
know that.
when Ford bought Land Rover out. So I actually haven't had many big problems. I've had a few niggling ones from wear and tear, but mostly from other people's bad workmanship.
Yeah, that's the
Um,
main
and
that's the main problem right there.
it is the main problem. I was funny enough, I was driving through a tunnel
Yeah.
in Cape Town on New Year's Day, and it was about 11 o'clock in the morning. We were heading back from my wife's family's farm.
Mm-hmm.
It's about a 2.5 hour drive, and the fan belt went.
Mm.
And fan belts in the new Defenders is one fan belt runs like seven other
Yeah,
different items like the aircon, the power steering, and all that type of thing. And the fan belt completely disintegrated, and I ended up freewheeling through the whole tunnel, and then got just outside the other side, and I managed to just get over a little hump and freewheeled all the way down into the town area. So I was pretty lucky and not get stuck in
yeah,
the. But again, that had really nothing to do with anything other than
yeah,
yeah, just wear and tear, which is normal. I mean, guys like you and I put these vehicles through a lot of
yeah.
strain and a lot of stress, and these things
Yeah.
happen. I do maintenance on my vehicle all the
Also,
time,
yeah,
so very seldom do I have any problems. And that was really, I think, one of the last things that was at the beginning of that was January last year. So I'm pretty lucky, touch wood,
yeah.
actually.
That's a very. I was kidding about the Land Rover. Of course, I had a one Disco, but Disco one I had before this Toyota.
Yeah,
So yeah, but I
yeah.
sold it. It's an old rig, but it's very capable for an off-roading. Yeah,
Completely. I mean, those things in South Africa are actually becoming sought after, and the reason is because the engines are old. There's been a lot of people refurbishing them because they're all
yeah,
V8s. So they end up getting sold for all the newer versions from the Disco 1, Disco 2s are buying the now Disco 4s or
yeah,
5s,
yeah,
and they sell them off completely refurbished with all the equipment, camping, everything on it
yeah.
for like $5,000, with tents and gas bottles and
That's
fridges and all that type of thing.
that's
Oh, fridges!
that's a steep.
What fridge are you running in the back of your vehicle? Can you do you know?
Because it's a small country and we are not so
Yeah,
crowded, you can get anything you want literally everywhere. But if you go, we cannot go like you for, I don't know, a month, off the grid traveling. That's it.
yeah,
That's impossible in Serbia. Even not only in Serbia, but if you connect all the countries around it, you cannot do this. You have to go far away. So,
yeah,
as we said, less is more. So I have a little Dometic that is, but the the size for a couple of beers, some meat, and some cheeses, something like that. Nothing special.
yeah.
Um,
So what is it? A 40 liter or a 20 liter?
it's a yeah. I think it's a yeah 14, the small one. Yeah, the small, or maybe 20. I don't.
Full elbow one. Yeah.
That goes. It's meant to be in front between two passengers.
Yeah, I know the ones. Yeah, they're like an 18 or a
18.
20
Yeah,
liter. They're
it's an
or a 50 liter, I should say.
8. I think maybe yeah. 18 or 15. It's a good fridge. Nothing special, nothing fancy, but it does the job because we don't need. I don't need meat. Never in my life have I eaten. I had some problem with the gastric
Okay.
problem, so I don't eat meat, and because of that, I don't. The main reason for this is beers and meat. So I don't eat meat, so
Sure.
I can keep my beers cold in a creek or river. So
The way it should be anyway.
yeah.
Um, and what is the favorite mod on your vehicle? What's the favorite modification that you've done on your
I
GX?
will, I will, I will say it right away, winch, because when you don't have winch, you don't have a way out. Because when you are, and I am, most of the time alone, like one vehicle, traveling, and
Yeah.
because of that you
Yes.
don't have a snatch strap, you don't have not nobody to help you. The winch is the biggest change that I made, and significant. Of course, everyone knows. We know what a winch
Sure.
is. Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, so a winch. That's cool. Well, let's end off with this. What is your best and worst moments while being on a track?
Worst.
Your best and your worst moments.
Yeah. A best. Let's start off from the best. The best when I travel alone, without family or without some friends in a car, or without another car. When I'm totally alone, I sleep inside of the car. I have like small mattress that put on a bag. I put the back seat down, and because I'm not a big guy, I can fit right, without moving a front seat, and nothing. So
Okay.
one of the best moments, and it was nothing. It was not an epic. There were some beautiful, like mountains, like I said earlier, like glacier lakes, and that is all great. We are like three SUVs, like traveling, and I don't know, 12 of us or something like that. It was
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that is, but the most, and last, last year, for example, the best moment was I dropped off my kids and my wife at her mother's, and late, maybe 11 o'clock in the evening, I climbed one small mountaintop near one town in Western Serbia, and I,
Yeah.
just put the mattress on and go to sleep. And the next morning, 5 a.m., the sun woke me up, and I was looking,
Yeah.
and it was, amazing. And the whole experience of, going away for a maybe 1 hour drive to from a town to a, like completely wild place,
Yeah.
on the top, the smallest, the toppest top of that mountain, and parking your vehicle
Yeah.
there,
Yeah.
and going to sleep, and waking up 5 a.m., sun right in your face, getting up, making coffee, drinking coffee while watching, like, the sun goes up. It was amazing.
Okay.
I've been
Gnarly.
places, but that time, the simple one, that was my favorite. Let me tell you.
That sounds pretty cool. Did you at least take a photo?
Yeah, of course. I will send you. I will send you later. The worst.
Do
The
that.
worst is not the worst, because I had some bad times. Like in winter, we need to put the chains on. Actually, I was once stuck with an patrol, Nissan Patrol. Yeah, uh,
Yeah.
4.2, the big engine, the old one, the,
Yes.
the the square one, the J, yeah,
Yes.
the square one, yeah. Four chains on snow tires, four chains, and I got stuck climbing a mountain, and then we had to call a tractor one, and then he got stuck with the chains. He had the chains also, and then we had to call another tractor that also had chains, and then two tractors got to barely pull out my SUV, patrol. So that was a bad one.
Something that every true overlander knows is to leave the ego at
Yeah,
home and just get the help that you need when it comes across. I've had a few of those where I've been on a private farm
yeah,
and it was right on the
yeah.
coast, and I got stuck on a dune.
Uh-huh.
And I had to phone the owner to say, I need your help. Can you please send like 4 guys to come and help dig me
Yeah,
out, because I got completely bogged down and there was no ways that I was going to get anywhere.
yeah,
It was very windy. So the every time I was digging in front of the wheels, the
yeah,
sand would blow in. By the time I got around the back of the vehicle, there was no ways, dude. And I had to just suck it up and make a phone call and say, Sams, I need your help, please. Can you send your guys? And he was surprised that I couldn't get out. But then when he got there, he realized that because of the wind, it was a complete nightmare. So listen, I take my hat off for sharing your experiences, and I want to thank you, Petar, for just being friendly and kind, and I truly hope you get in touch with your parks and recreation guys and tell them to wake up, man. They have a great country. They can make money out of it like we have here, and events that are going to be great for your experiences. And
yeah.
I just want to thank you again. I'm definitely going to be in touch. Completely loved chatting with you. Thanks very
Thank
much.
you very much. Thank you, Anton, for making this happen, the opportunity, and it's very interesting. First time for me, podcasting first time for me. I hope I put some good word for Serbia, and I hope that everyone who wants and who can visit us and see what it is all about, because there's some pretty amazing nature and opportunities to go camping, exploring. It's a wild nature. So thank you very much.
Well, the only one thing I'm going to ask you to do is start a YouTube channel, man. No one's going to know until they see it, and I think
No,
you're the perfect guy
yeah,
to be an
yeah.
advocate.
You asked me, do you have? And I was, you wrote to me, do you have it? And I was thinking, man, I need to do this. It's like a sign. It's like a sign. You gave me a sign right now. Yeah, because
It is a sign and it's easy, and we can talk about it another day, but I can assure you that it's definitely the route to go.
I
So,
will, I will
listen,
do it.
thanks
I will do
very
it. I will do it. I will think about it, and I will do it. Thank you very much. Yeah, 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 yeah.
much. Go well and blessings to your family.
Thank you very much. Be in touch.
Cheers, Peter.
Yes,
Bye.
mate. Bye.